Now, welcome students. In this class, we will see some common terms which we use in this lesson. Basically, this chapter which we are studying, that is reproduction in organism, this is just the introduction, just the basic things we have, just the definitions, what happens, how it happens, it just is there, summary is given. Everything is explained in detail in the coming next chapter, this fifth chapter, not fifth, that is sixth chapter, reproduction in organism. It is just a summary. It is just the things which we have already studied, which we have already known. It is a summary is given in one particular chapter, and that summary is explained in very detailed manner in the next chapter. That is the seventh lesson, sexual reproduction in plants. In the sixth chapter, reproduction in plants, that just is given, summary is given, how organism is reproduced, whether it is reproducing asexually or sexually, how it reproduces asexually, how it reproduces sexually, what are the processes which takes place during sexual reproduction, that is pre-fertilization events, then fertilization, then post-fertilization events. All those things, the gist is given so that we know how this process will take place. We can easily understand in detail about the processes. Just simple detail is a brief explanation or summary is given. Remember this one. Then all those things will be explained in detail in the next chapter. So basically, the sixth chapter is just nothing but it is the recap of all the things which we have studied. Recap of all the things which we have studied. Now in this, coming to this, we'll learn some new terms. Few of them will already know, few terms we already know, but still it is important, that is recall it, and some new other terms are also there which will be studying this. Now sexuality on organisms. How organisms are different based on the sexes. Based on the different sexes, how organisms are different. How male is different, how female is different. What do you call when we have only female reproductive organ in a flower? What do you call the flower when we have both the sex organs present, that is male reproductive organ and the female reproductive organ? So some terms are given. So basically, how the male is different from the female organism. Here, if a flower, I am telling you in respect with the flower here. Remember this one, I am telling you with respect to the flower. If a flower has both reproductive organs, if a single flower has both reproductive organ, that is male reproductive organ as well as female reproductive organ. Male reproductive organ is nothing but andrecium, and female reproductive organ is nothing but gynoecium. If a flower, if a single flower, if I draw like this, so if this is the thalamus, this is the pedicel, this is the thalamus, on this this is the calyx, then we have this petals, then we have this, in the middle pistil will be there, in the middle pistil is there, and here we have stamens. Here we have stamens. That is, if in the same flower, in this one single flower, if we find both this male reproductive organ as well as this female reproductive organ, if in a single flower, if we find this both male reproductive organ, that is andrecium, and female reproductive organ, that is gynoecium or the pistil, in a single flower, then that flower is said to be a bisexual flower. Bi means two. Both the sexes are present. Bisexual flower. In a single flower, if both the reproductive organs are present, then this flower is said to be a bisexual flower. Okay? If a flower has only male reproductive organ, If a flower has only male reproductive organ, this calyx is there, corolla is there, only this black androecium is there. We don't find this pistil. We don't find this. Only three, that is calyx is there, corolla is there, androecium is there. Only one reproductive organ is present. If a flower with only one reproductive organ, that is if only male is present, male reproductive organ is present, then that flower is called as a staminate flower. Then that flower is called as staminate flower, because only stamens are present. These are stamen, single stamen. This is one stamen, this is another stamen. All stamen together is androecium. So, if stamens are present, if only stamens are present in a flower along with this calyx and corolla, then that flower is said to be a staminate flower. That flower is said to be a staminate flower, and it has only one reproductive organ, one sex organ, that is only male sex organ. Female sex organ is not present. Then it is a unisexual flower. This flower is a unisexual in terms of sexuality. This flower has both the organs, sexual organs, then it is bisexual. This flower has only one sex organ, that is unisexual. In unisexual only male part is present, then staminate flower. So, if we say staminate flower, then that means it is a unisexual flower, only it has one reproductive organ. Okay, in the similar manner, if it has only female reproductive organ, so instead of the stamens, if a plant has only this one, pistil, that is no stamens are present, calyx, corolla, then only pistil. Only one reproductive organ is there, that is pistil. No stamens are there. Okay. So, such flower in which we find only female reproductive organ, then that flower is called as pistillate flower, because it has pistil. As it has only stamens, it is called as staminate flower. As it has pistil only, no stamens, then this flower is called as pistillate flower. And both of them are unisexual. If we say it is a pistillate flower, then it is understood that it is a unisexual flower, because we are saying pistillate means stamens are not there. If you are saying staminate flower means, that means it is understood that pistil is not present, and absence of pistil or stamen, then that is only one sex organ is present, then we call it as unisexual flower. Whether it is a staminate flower or whether it is a pistillate flower, the flowers are unisexual. The flowers are unisexual. Both the organs present like this. If this as well as this, then it is bisexual flower. Now, this was in respect to the flower. Coming to the plant. Now, I am talking with respect to the plant. If a plant has both male and female reproductive organs on the same body, on the same body, For example, if this is a plant, okay, I am drawing this 4 branches. If this is a plant, one plant, if on this one plant, if we have a flower like this, that is the pedicel, this is thalamus, this is calyx, this is corolla, then we have this and stamens, then we have this pistil. Okay. On a single plant, the flower can be bisexual, or if this is like this, if a plant, on a single plant, if both these reproductive organs are present on the same flower, both reproduct on the same plant. Now, flower was here, I already said you, this is bisexual flower. I am talking about this plant. If on this plant, on one plant, if we have both this male and female reproductive organ on the same body, if male and female reproductive organs are present on the same plant, on the single plant, then that plant is said to be monoecious plant. Then that plant is said to be monoecious. Monoecious. Mono means one. On one single plant, both the reproductive organs are present. Okay. But here on bisexual plant, we can even call it as the bisexual plant. Monoecious plant or bisexual plant. Monoecious means on one single plant, both the sex organs are present. So this both the sex organ can be on the single flower, or it can happen like this also. On the same plant, this is the thalamus, then this is the calyx, this is the corolla, and here on this flower only stamen is present, and here then we have this calyx, corolla, and here we have this gynoecium. It can be like this also. It can be like this. On the single plant, one flower, that is few flowers will have only male reproductive organ, few flowers will have only female reproductive organs. But both of them are present on the same plant. Both of them are present on the same plant. Both male flowers and female flowers, both the reproductive organs are present on the same plant. It can be like this or it can be like this. On a single flower, both reproductive organs can be present. It can be like this or it can be like this. In both the cases, then the plant is said to be monoecious. In both the cases, the plant is said to be monoecious or bisexual plant. This I am saying with respect to the plant. If on the same plant, if both the reproductive organs are present, whether it is in the same flower or in the different flower, but on this plant both male and female organs are present. On this plant both male and female organs are present. In both the scenarios, the plant is said to be monoecious or bisexual plant. And with respect to the plant, if only one reproductive organ is present, if one reproductive organ is present, for example, this is a plant. Okay, on this plant we have this calyx, then corolla, then only stamen is present. This also calyx, corolla, then only stamen is present. If a single plant has only one reproductive organ, or I can draw it like this also. Single plant, calyx, corolla, then pistil. All the flowers, calyx, corolla, then pistil. On a single flower, only one reproductive organ is present. On a single plant, only one reproductive organ is present. On a single plant, only one reproductive organ is present. Then these plants are said to be dioecious. Dioecious means two different plants, one for male, one for female. One for male plant and one for female plant. So this is for the male plant and this is for the female plant. Two plants are there, two plant bodies are there. This is male plant body, this is female plant body. Two different plants, but this is male plant and this is the female plant. So in dioecious, two will be there, two plants will be there. One will be male plant and another will be female plant. Dioecious means two. In two, one will be male plant, one will be female plant. Example which we see here is papaya. Papaya, This is the male papaya plant and this is the female papaya plant. Because on this papaya plant only female flowers are there. On this papaya plant only male flowers are there. So this type of plant is called as dioecious plant, where two plants are separate. Male plant and female plant are separate. Okay. Now another word is there, that is annual plants. What are annual plants? Annual means every year. A plant whose lifespan is only for 1 year. A plant which lives only for 1 year. Within 1 year, that is, new seed is sown, a plant will come out, it will grow, it will reproduce, it will reproduce in the sense it will produce flowers only once, then after flowers it will change into fruit and then that plant will die. It will live only for 1 year. It live only for 1 year, less than an year. Such plants are called as annual plants. Annual plants, and the flowering is only once. They live only for 1 year, and in that only 1 year they reproduce only once. That is, they produce flower only one time. So such plants where the flowers are produced only one time. The flowers are produced only one time. Those are called as monocarpic plants. Annual plants means the life cycle is only 1 year, less than 1 year, a year or less than 1 year. Their life cycle will be for a year or less than 1 year. Such plants are called as annual plants. They will reproduce only once, that is, they produce flower only one time. After flower is formed, the flower will change into the fruit, and after formation of fruit the plant will die. So that is annual plant. Another word here, if flowering is take place only once in the lifetime. Annual plant means living for only a year or less than an year. That is annual plants. Coming to monocarpic. Monocarpic means the plant which produce flowers only once in their lifetime. Only once in their lifetime. It can be in 1 year or it can take many years. For example, bamboo plant. It lives for 100 to 150 years. Bamboo plant, it is not an annual plant, but it produces flower only one time only in their lifespan. Bamboo plant can live up to 100 to 150 years only, but during this lifespan of 100 to 150 years, it will only produce flowers only one time. For example, if a plant survives for 100 to 50 years, you say there are between 40 to 60 years, somewhere in between 40 to 60 years, it will produce flower. Then till 100 years, from 60 to 100 years or 150 years, it will live and it will die. It won't produce further flowers. It will only produce once in a lifetime. Whatever the lifespan may be, if it produces flowers only once in their lifetime, then such plants are called as monocarpic. Okay, such plants are called as monocarpic. Lifespan can be 100 to 50 years, 150 years, 200 years, whatever the lifespan may be, but it will produce flower only one time. Annual plants, they produce flower one time and they also live only for a year or less than an year. Not like this for 150 years, living for 150 years and producing flowers only once. No, it will live only for a year. Like wheat plant, rice plant. Wheat plant, it has very short life cycle, that is only 7 to 8 months. Within 7 to 8 months, the plant undergoes vegetative phase. A seed is, from the seedling is produced. It will germinate. It will produce a new plant. New plant will grow. New plant will produce flowers. Okay, that is plant will grow, vegetative phase. Then it will produce flowers. Then it is reproductive phase. Then after flowers, After few months it will die. So the life cycle is only 1 year. The plants where the lifespan is only 1 year or less than 1 year, such plants are called as annual plants. Biennial plants, here biennial plants, it takes 2 years to complete its life cycle. Biennial plants are the plants which takes 2 years to complete its life cycle. Then perennial plants. Perennial plants live for many years. Perennial plant live for many years. Many years it will produces flowers many times. They live for many years and they produce flowers for many times. For example, you take a mango tree. In every mango season, we get mangoes. But we get mangoes from the same tree. That tree will live on for years. That tree will live on for years. When a plant has been sown, mango seed has been sown, a plant will come out. That is the birth of the plant. Then for few years it only grows. It won't give you any mangoes. For few years it won't give any mangoes. It will only grow. It will only grow. So that is the vegetative phase, that is the juvenile phase. And after the growth is over, it starts producing flower. Then the reproductive age will start. The reproductive age will start. It will produce flower. Within few months, it will change into, the flowers will change into mangoes. That is, the ovary will change into mangoes. Okay. Then mangoes fall down. Then the plant will again go into the vegetative phase. It will grow. It will then, after some time it will produce flower. Then again the flowers will fall, that is change into fruits, and it will fall off. Then again it will goes into vegetative phase. It grows in the sense new leaves and all will be formed. New leaves will be formed. Then here it undergoes reproductive. It produces fruits. It has produced flowers. Then flowers has changed into fruits. It has produced flowers, that is, it has it has undergone in the reproductive age, reproductive phase. Then it has changed, the flowers has been changed into fruits. Then again that reproductive phase is gone. Then after some time the reproductive phase will come again. It will flower again on the same plant. Then it will change into fruit. Then again it will come into vegetative phase. Then it will move into reproductive phase. So it will go and come out of reproductive phase. So that is in perennial plants, that is in mango tree. Here they will enter into the reproductive phase, then come out, then enter into the reproductive phase, then come out. So on a single plant, many times the flowers are grown and many times the seeds are produced, and the plants will live for many years. So such plants are called as perennial plants. Seasonal plants, all that is seasonal plants are perennial plants. Custard apple, one season you will get. So all those perennial plants means they live for many years and they produce flowers many times. Then after producing flowers for certain years, then again they stop producing flowers, they will age and they will die. But here coming to this one important thing, we said that that is monocarpic, that is they will produce flowers only once. Here a plant is there, it is mentioned in your book, Strobilanthes kuntiana. It will flower once in 12 years. Now it has produced flowers. Then next year it won't. In 2020, if the plant has produced flowers, then it will again produce flowers only in 2032. After 12 years, because after 20, in 2021, 2022, 2023, it won't produce any flower. It will produce, when it has produced flower in 2020, then that plant will produce again the flowers after 12 years, that is in 2032 only. And these plants are found in the southern region of India. Kerala, Karnataka, like the southern regions, Tamil Nadu are there. So in the southern regions of India, we find this plant, and here it makes a very big tourist attraction because all the flowers, all the plants will produce flower in the same time, at the same time, in the same month. So everywhere you go now, you will be seeing these flowers. Once in 12 years, you will get to see such scene. It is very scenic, very aesthetic, very beautiful it will look. Everywhere you move, the same flowers. In the whole forest, you will see these flowers only. But you will see it in every 12 years. If this year the plant has produced flower, then if you want to see the flower again, then you have to go after 12 years. Because on 30, that is in 2032 only, sorry 2032 only, it will produce flowers. So it makes a big tourist attraction because at the same time only, all the plants will produce flowers. That time only, all the plants which are, all the Strobilanthes plecontiana plants which are there, they will produce flowers only at that time, one time only, and once in 12 years. So it makes a big tourist attraction. So this was all about these different terms which has been used in this. So now little detail will be going for this. In the previous class we have studied about gametogenesis, embryogenesis and all. A little detailed information will be given, then we'll move on to the actual processes.